afternoon. I want to thank you all for your resilience, and I'm very delighted to see these big numbers at a 5-star hotel which has been raided by obstetricians and midwives. If you understand that statement, you'd clap much better than now. But of course, I will not forget that in our midst we have pediatricians. I hope they'll be able to also borrow a leaf. And we have a much bigger meeting for pediatricians in this region. The commissioner, the president of AOGU, my boss, the chair of the organizing committee, the deans present. Let me see deans. Yeah, I'll specifically ask all of you to stand up, and we welcome you in a very special way. The deans, please stand up. Okay. Please keep standing. I'll also ask heads of departments to stand up wherever you are, and also are they consultant executives? Executive consultants. Okay, so yeah, these are technical heads. They are superintendents of our training and clinical practice. So thank you. I'm very happy to see you. Thank you. Let's welcome them again. I did share a few thoughts, but before I delve into the details of those thoughts, I also want to appreciate everyone who's been able to make it, the obstetricians and gynecologists. I know where you find an obstetrician, you're sure that a midwife will be there because they work together. So the midwives, in a very special way, we want to appreciate the work that you do. And we welcome you. It's my hope and prayer that in the next couple of years, we should be able to raise more than 1 million midwives. And that will be the one single shot that will improve a lot of our maternal newborn outcomes. So we value your contribution. When I was invited, I made sure that I'll come. I do appreciate the innovations that the leadership is making in making sure that regional AOGU conferences are happening. Many years ago, we used to think that AOGU belongs to a privileged few. But as years went by, we all feel included. So my brother, Dr. Rogers, congratulations to you and your team. Yeah, let's do it better. It's good to know. You'd go for FIGO meetings and you'd find just a few, 2-3 people, and you definitely know where they are coming from. But now, at the last Cape Town FIGO meeting, we had more than 30 obstetricians from Uganda. Okay? Now for me, that is global impact. The theme of our meeting here is very deliberate, it's focused, and I definitely want to appreciate you once again for giving me this rare opportunity, which will go down on my CV as having been invited by my mother association to say a few thoughts. When I'm editing my CV tonight, I'll also add it there and say, I was invited at this meeting. So please prepare a certificate for me. So I come here not as a keynote speaker, not as a deputy vice chancellor. But as a fellow obstetrician and gynecologist trained in Mbarara, and as a member of this remarkable association, which is bound together by a shared calling. And that calling is very simple: to safeguard the lives of women and newborns. And as things get a little deeper, I'll not give a lot of statistics because I know you know them. But permit me to begin with a story of a mother, and this story may actually be common knowledge to all of you who are seated here. Imagine a mother, a young woman from a village in Kanungu. Okay, Kisoro. Oh, Shema. Is Chitagata a district? It's not. Isinjiro, Mbarara district. And this woman wakes up before it is daylight. She's carrying new life within her. She walks several kilometers to the nearest health facility, which could be Kabianda Health Center 4. The road is rough. Transport is uncertain. She arrives when she's very tired but hopeful. And she's trusting that the health system will protect her and her unborn child. At that point, there are so many things running in her head. How many of us have experienced such cases? Okay, most of you practice from Barara town. You don't see these cases, but let me see. Okay, have you ever received a mother who is a little uncertain about the future, confused? You can do like this proudly if you have. Yeah, for those ones who have not raised their hands, you are AI doctors, but it is well. At that point, this mother is not thinking about sustainable development goals. She's not thinking about the Vision 2040 at that point. She has even never heard of those things. She's not thinking about health financing. All she wants is her baby born alive, and she goes home alive and well. She's not thinking about the difficult things, artificial intelligence, genomics. She's not thinking about very strange things. All she has entrusted us with is a divine, precious process. She wants a safe delivery. Her life and the life of her child, and that trust is sacred. You cannot read it in books. Neither can you buy it in shops. She has come and she wants support. I was telling, I think Professor Mujenyi or someone else, we were talking, yes, with the commissioner, Dr. Mugahi. I just decided one Saturday to go to Mbara City Health Center 4 because a friend had called me that I am here. I need your help. So I reached there at 11 a.m. I left at 3:15 p.m. A person who had gone to check on someone to offer support, I found myself doing inevitable things. I went into the labor ward, I examined, wrote in their files, and I left very satisfied after those 3-4 hours. We are here today as we can have subjected. I'm not sure. Are they there? Good. We are here today to indulge in a few things. I've called them thoughts that will be able to provoke the things that we have listened to today. Thought number one has got components. One is, most of you have heard beyond the numbers, such a statement, isn't it? Beyond the numbers. And I believe that Uganda has every reason to celebrate meaningful progress. You know the statistics, you know the trends. The commissioner hopefully will be able to enlighten us about those. Over the past decade, maternal mortality has declined substantially, that we know. Skilled birth attendance increased to over 80%. Neonatal survival for the, for all of us in the room has also improved. Investments have greatly improved. Uganda has made significant progress, and for that, I would want us to join us together. We appreciate everyone who has contributed to these gains. And yet, every midwife, every obstetrician or gynecologist in this room knows another truth. Behind every encouraging graph lies a mother who did not return home. Behind every national average lies a district that is struggling. Behind every policy, there are so many policies, lies a health care worker who is making impossible decisions with limited resources. Impossible decisions. You have 10 mothers in labor, and you have how many pairs of gloves? 5. And yet they must deliver. You begin writing on papers, go and buy, and you sign. The following morning they say, who sent a mother to buy gloves in their supposed clinic? You're thrown behind the bars. By the time the truth is discovered, you're mentally broken down. But I believe that progress should be able, and unfinished work still humbles us. And for me, I also believe that the greatest danger in our healthcare system is not failure, but becoming comfortable with the partial success. We should think about the whole ecosystem. Why should research matter? Like I said, the theme of this conference is very important because it recognizes one fundamental truth, that research is not an academic luxury. It is a clinical necessity. I'll say it again. There are clinicians who demean the contribution of research. For you to be able to remain at the cutting edge of practice, you must know what new knowledge is being generated, what new practice is coming through. And every improvement that we celebrate as individuals, as a country, today exists because someone somewhere dared to ask a difficult question. What happens to these mothers who are leaking urine? Kayonda and his team in the corner, they say, I think we need to find out. What is the quality of life after repair? Or repair, do they go through? Mothers in labor, how can we best optimize their outcomes? Tamujenyi and his team, they're like, we need to look at the labor care guide. Okay? Preeclamptics. Dr. Lugobe is there scratching his head. What can I do? Kaja wangu. Livan. Who did metabolic syndrome? There are difficult questions that you must ask. Why are mothers dying? Why are babies dying? Why are interventions succeeding in one part of Uganda and yet failing in another. What happens if we change the way we train residents, we train midwives, the way we train nurses? How do we predict obstetric emergencies before they become catastrophic? You must ask yourself, and you should not only remain at asking yourself, move out. Research, you need to find out what works. There are guidelines that are being developed by WHO, adopted by Ministry of Health, and yet some working. You employ implementation science to make sure that these guidelines work. These questions, which I've called difficult, they change the scope of medicine. Evidence transforms policy. Policy transforms practice. And when we practice with evidence, lives are changed. And for me, this is the remarkable journey from curiosity to survival. Mind is not asking those difficult questions. I would rather that Dr. Kumba and other deans, they provide an opportunity for you to meet a few psychiatrists. Let's go back. That's the first slide of my few thoughts. The next one, or before you go to the next one, let me just read this verbatim. Thank you. Okay. Good. Thank you. Every improvement we celebrate today exists because someone dared to ask. Please go and ask. Those uncomfortable things. Why are we saying a mother whose blood pressure is normal, no protein in urine, and then we are saying, this one has eclampsia? Ask the difficult things. A mother dying of sepsis, and you've given the antibiotics that your microbiology unit has given you a report about. And you're like, but we are giving these antibiotics. Why are these mothers not improving? You need to ask more genomic questions. What are those unculturable bugs that cannot be cultured? How do I go beyond this? For me, ask the difficult questions and look out for people to help support you. The second set of thoughts. Why is local evidence important? The scope of our meeting is Western Uganda. Am I right, Bwana President? And Western Uganda is unlike anywhere else, as Northern Uganda is, and Eastern and Central. There are unique things about these particular regions. The geographies are unique, the communities are diverse, the disease patterns also differ. The referral pathways, they face distinct challenges. The challenges faced in Ilwengo may not be exactly the same challenges as they are in Bundubujo. Up from the mountain up there, the distance may be 10 kilometers, but it may take 7 hours to reach the nearest place. They are different, distinct challenges. Local evidence matters because, one, it strengthens practice that is hinged on things that work. A protocol that has been developed in Europe to manage a particular disease may not exactly work at KIU Teaching Hospital. It may provide certain insights, but there are local things that are specific, and we must look out for local evidence. Local evidence. The future, in my own opinion, of maternal health care, Madam Commissioner, in Western Uganda must increasingly be informed by research conducted, but also with a focus on the needs of this region, just like other regions will also demand. And at that point, that's where the research focused institutions also come in. We have a role to play. The responsibility of universities or other healthcare institutions. We believe that we should not just be producing graduates. We must produce solutions. A patient who will come to you does not want to know how many degrees you have. And you're introducing yourself. I am Okrut. Where's Dr. Okrut? I'm Dr. Okrut. I have a MBCHB. I have an M.Med. I am the head of department. My friend, they are not even listening. All they want, can you help me? And we must be able to produce people who give us the solutions, okay? Our lecture theaters must prepare compassionate clinicians. Even when the pockets are empty, but what I saw down there, I don't think there's anyone whose pockets are empty. Okay? We must be compassionate clinicians, or else clinical practice becomes just a routine. Our postgraduate programs must cultivate scientific leaders. That's why we ask you to go through a research process. And when you're done, your lecturers sit down with you and they say you must produce a paper, a manuscript. And this evidence needs to be heard everywhere. The true impact of research is not measured by the number of publications. I'll say this 3 times. The true impact of research is not measured by the number of, I think that's number 2. Number 3, the true impact of research is not measured by the number of, it is measured by the number of lives improved. The finest paper, whether published by the New England Journal of Medicine or the Lancet, has limited value if it never changes clinical practice. I am not negating the need for us to publish. We should publish. Someone was telling me that the adage publish or perish is now dead. We are now into innovate or perish. I don't think so. Publish, innovate, those things must move together. Otherwise, scientific inquiry will produce lazy graduates. So knowledge that we generate, asking the difficult question, that knowledge becomes meaningful when it reaches the bedside. A midwife is able to pick it up and they're able to offer care. Innovation is bigger than technology. Many people hear the word innovation and immediately think about AI. AI is important. It's indeed transforming healthcare. Okay? Machine learning. Some of you already have heard of algorithm development. Some of you have published. It's true that technology is very important. Telemedicine is connecting specialists with the remote entities, remote hospitals or systems, electronic health records, continuity of care. And these are very exciting developments. We must be able to use these innovations to improve care. Data must become our compass. Now, when you find a clinician trying to demean research, please give them a few years. They will become extinct in terms of cutting-edge practice. Healthcare without reliable data resembles navigation without a compass. Even Christopher Columbus had a compass, am I right? Did he get lost? I think he did. But he finally found his way. If we do not measure accurately, if we do not use data to inform practice, we cannot improve consistently. There's a lot of data that we must use. Maternal death surveillance data, perinatal death audits, near-miss reviews, clinical registries, QI, quality improvement data. This data must become helpful in terms of being translated into clinical practice. My last set of thoughts. When you look around, there are generations that are represented here. Am I right? I'll not ask you to raise your hands up when I say who has hit the 8th floor, the 7th floor. There are people in their 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. I'm not sure we have less than 20 here. They are there. If you're 20, let me see your hands up. If you're less than 20. 20 and below. I see Mutumba saying he's 20. Kairi is an old man. And when I look through the house, I see professors, senior lecturers, senior consultants. I see policymakers. There are residents. Let me see the residents who are here this afternoon. Residents. Okay, some people do not know the word resident. Okay, master's students. Just proudly like this. I'll ask the specialist to clap for you. When I look through, I see future heads of departments. I see deans. Okay? Many professors, vice chancellors, heads of hospitals, MPs, ministers, commissioners, director generals. To you all, I'll say this, and please listen carefully. Never separate clinical excellence from scientific curiosity. Research, that's the theme. Do not accept inherited practice simply because that is how we have always done it. That's how we have always done it. What new knowledge do you have? You're telling us this is the new bug here. No, for us we have always known that it is streptococcus. Now you're bringing in what? Gardnerella, what? Of course, you must question respectfully. You must investigate rigorously, collaborate, publish ethically. If your data is to create impact, it should be something that has been derived ethically. I will not mention somewhere where I was reading a student's book, and you'd clearly see that this is not data that was collected. It was cooked data. Cooked data. And the student was very wise. The English was perfect, used AI to autocorrect and do many things. And in depth, on a little deeper inquiry, the student confessed and said, you know what? I used AI to come up with this dissertation. Now, such data that is cooked, that's not real, will not create impact. It may be beautiful, it may be published in the best journals. Let's publish ethically. And I believe that Uganda's next breakthrough in maternal newborn child health may come from someone who is sitting quietly here. And you must come out. Collaboration, the greatest innovation. For me, this I consider it as the greatest innovation. No institution can eliminate maternal mortality alone. No doctor can eliminate maternal mortality and morbidity alone. That's why I said the midwives are very important, the doctors are very important, and we must work together. Put aside our egos. Say, for me, so for you, you must listen to instructions. My friend, someone with a certificate will be able to guide you better than someone who has a PhD. So let's respectfully collaborate. Together we can achieve what none of us can accomplish individually. Together. That's why when I walked in and I heard that there are midwives, nurses, there are doctors, professors, residents, my heart was filled with a lot of joy, because with concerted effort, we can get somewhere. Our greatest innovation may not be in a new machine, but in stronger partnerships. We must work together. When clinicians collaborate with, with engineers, with sociologists, with economists, epidemiologists, with data scientists, with uneducated people in the community, we are able to come up with very important solutions. So these are my last two things. When we look at, yes, Western Uganda, but also this would speak at the national level, I do believe that the team here present can create a leading regional hub for maternal newborn child health innovation. If you believe it, let me see your hand like this. It's possible. Is it possible? We have outstanding clinicians here who will enter theater at 6 a.m. and come out at midnight. They have not eaten. They are giving their life. We have committed researchers here. We have young, energetic scientists. We have resilient communities that we serve. Very resilient. And above all, in regard to collaboration and whatever, we have a shared purpose. We came here for something that we believe in. And that is where we must be able to optimize. A call to action, finally. As we engage in this meeting, I know you've heard a lot, you've listened to many presentations, cutting-edge research, which is good. We must be able to appreciate everyone's contribution. We must be able to appreciate that alone cannot make significant progress. And so as we agree on a shared purpose, I invite each one of us to make these 6 commitments. I'll read them verbatim or mention them. 1, let every research project, whether it is midwifery or nursing or residence, let every project begin with a real health problem faced by our mothers and newborns. Nothing theoretical. If you go to Rukunjiri, deep in the village of it's Chisizi, Nyarushanje. Yes. And you're telling a mother there in her garden, and you're saying, you know what? AI can make you rich tomorrow. AI, my friend. Begin with the real problem. Her issue may be lack of transport to the next health facility. Innovate around that. Number 2, let every innovation be judged not by its novelty, but by its impact on quality and survival. 3, let every experienced researcher here commit to intentionally mentor younger people. They could be young in the practice, but also young in age. Is that a commitment we are willing to make? Yes. Many of you have heard of this adage. The richest place in the world is not what? And not the gold mines of South Africa or Zambia, but the graveyard. Tukwe. In the graveyard, what do we find there? Books that were not written. Research papers that were not written. In the graveyard, very rich. None of us wants to go to the graveyard with those ideas. And let us mentor younger people. If you have no one you're holding a hand, you must question the purpose for your existence. Number 4, every institution, I know there's KIU, there's Sorority, there's Mbara University, and many others. Let every institution strengthen partnerships across disciplines and sectors. The institutions that decide to work in silos will die out soon. Let's share knowledge. Number 5, let us train. Now this one I put it in bold in my head. Let us train and recruit more than 1 million midwives and nurses. Okay? I've been privileged to come to go to different places of Africa. I've been privileged to travel now 72 countries. When you get to rural areas, you find where there is impact that is tangible. The so-called lower cadres, for me, they are the most important people. We must advocate for them. Number 6, let us remember that every paper we publish, today is research, isn't it the theme? Every paper we publish, every guideline we develop, every policy we influence, and every innovation we introduce must ultimately serve one purpose: to ensure that more mothers return home safely. 2, more babies celebrate their first birthday, and ensure that families experience joy instead of preventable loss. Can you imagine? Mother goes in to push her baby. Nothing wrong. And she remains on the bed, gets PPH 12 hours down the road. She's in irreversible shock. And you're like, what happened? In the file, there's no blood pressure. There's no heart rate. 12 hours. Where were we? Very painful. Preventable. That should be our commitment. With the mother who placed her trust in us, remember the sacred trust. Such a mother may never know the names of the researchers in this room. And they don't need to know. They may never know that Professor Kayonda has published these many papers. It's none of their business. All they want to know is, can he help me? They may never read our publications. Some of them may read, some of those who are educated. They may never attend conferences like this one to hear what we are speaking. We are speaking to ourselves, isn't it? The next conference, we need to invite mothers. Have their 2-3 tables there. They may never experience the consequences of our decisions. Such a mother, her child will thrive or struggle because of the evidence we choose to generate and the innovations that we choose to implement. That is why our work matters. Our research matters. Our innovation matters. And that is why gatherings like this inspire us to go back and think in a different way. Together, let us commit ourselves to building a healthcare system where science serves humanity, not journals, where innovation advances equity, and where every discovery translates into dignified care. It's my hope and prayer that this meeting has sparked new collaborations. I hope we have been able to talk amongst ourselves during the breaks. We've been able to exchange business cards. No, they told me not many people have business cards. We've been able to exchange phone numbers. We've been able to reaffirm our shared conviction that evidence, compassion, and innovation are the strongest medicines we can offer our nation. I want to thank you. Thank you once again for inviting me. And it's my hope that maternal newborn child health in Western Uganda and the entire country will improve just because this conference happened. Succeed we must. Thank you.